Alright guys, so we're in game number 2 right now. SaroVati leading the series 1-0 right now. Over here at the top left, we have coLMoosegills from Complexity. He's going to be facing off against his opponent at the bottom right side in the purple. It is SaroVati. So last game, like we said, a little bit of an unfortunate circumstance for coLMoosegills. To a certain point, I feel like he had a pretty decent composition with the mutas and corruptors for a while, but once you let that amount of phoenixes come out and you let that amount of archons on the ground help support, it becomes very tough. Now, that last engagement, because he didn't really have any ground support of any sort, it really did come down to the mutas, and the corruptors were only going to aggro the phoenixes for the most part, maybe at worst if the phoenixes came across the other side. But then at that point, you're looking at sentries popping guardian shield left and right, you're looking at archons breaking through, very well defended as well, by the way. So with no ground support of any sort, those mutas are going to fall apart, and they didn't really have upgrades on them. Like we said, +1/+1, that's not going to do the trick. Just not going to do the trick. SaroVati going to be opening up with the Forge Fast Expand down here and his side of the base. Let's make sure that all the chats and everything else is working. Yeah, looks like we're good. Trying to think also right now. I don't know. I'm still thinking right now about the balance changes because it was only right before this broadcast that I actually started reading about them. Looks like Probe will get killed off, blocked off the hatchery for quite a good while. Not too bad, but now 3 hatcheries should be pretty free for coLMoosegills if he does take it. Now coLMoosegills, when he comes over here and spots the Forge, he should go and take his third base. Because that was typically the old reactionary style of play. You see that Forge Fast Expand, you drop a quick third hatch. You don't see it as often. A lot of Protosses still do prefer, some Protosses prefer still to do Forge Fast Expand, but a majority of them have transitioned into gateway openers. Just generally due to the fact that there's so much harass potential with that style and with that opener. You try to think right now, it's kind of like Terrans, you know, you could open up Command Center first, you could try to go gasless 1 racks, but it's a little bit more efficient to open up with Reapers. You get the scout off, you might have potential to kill off some workers, get a little bit of harassment done for some units, contain your opponent a little bit as well. Bit of a meta shift. Bit of a meta shift. coLMoosegills dropping the third hatch. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, with the 3-minute delay, I'm looking at chat right now. Yeah, fire up the disco ball on the Oracle, man. It's party time. when you break through as hard as SaroVati did, yeah, you might as well. It was funny though because in terms of a discussion about like being BM aggressive or dancing or stuff like that, it was Huck's tweet that cracked me up. He said that he's gonna quit like dancing and showboating in between games because he like hates it so much when people do it to them. And that's actually, I think, a lot of players don't realize is when you dance to like and your opponents like taunt and whatever, like yeah, you're having fun, you're winning, but when it happens to you, it doesn't feel good. So I don't know. I feel like as a community, StarCraft, we've matured. We've become a little bit less BM. A little bit less, not too much, but because, you know, internet's internet. Dude, over the past couple days, because Nax came out and started playing a little bit Hearthstone, I think those are that has to be like next to League of Legends, probably the most bad-mannered community ever. Hearthstone, you wouldn't think of it, but what I was talking about, I made a tweet earlier about it. I'm like, these guys have this like hiding behind a screen complex better than anybody else because there's no chat, there's just commands. So. And you can always tell because these kids just like sit there, they have way too much time on their hands and they're spamming commands like well played, thanks, well played, well played. I'm just sitting there like trying to make a move, I'm like, dude, stop. I'm like, I wish I could tell, I'm like, dude, just cut it out, quit it. Can't focus. Like I said, Hearthstone, man, BM community. StarCraft, we're mature and mannered. Alright, so SaroVati trying to get a little bit of action done up here, putting up that pylon. Will most likely lose off the Zealot. Oh, almost nearly perfect micro from coLMoosegills. Loses a couple lings there at the very end, but he does find himself a couple pylons over here. If he gets a few more seconds, he will be able to pick them off. Overlord getting pushed off for the time being. At the moment, I don't see... Oh, there it is. Does the Overlord spot anything? Well, he does spot one gateway getting farmed. I don't know if he had enough time to even click on that thing, as the Overlord does get pushed off. Overlord goes down. There's 4 gates right there. Is he going to go for anything else? It looks like... No, it looks like he's just going to go for a third base. Just due to the general fact of losing some of these forward pylons, it makes it a little bit harder for you to go for an aggression, because you know you don't have that stability, and your opponent typically anticipates it. coLMoosegills, though, he's not overreacting, though. He's staying pretty patient. He's staying pretty patient. I gotta give him props for that. And if he could just get some lings down there and spot this third base, he's going to be very well confirmed in his feelings. Now, on a map like these, mutas do work a little bit better, I feel like, than Overgrowth. On King Sejong, just due to the airspace, they're able to fly through here, fly out. There's a lot of airspace that they could go away from as well. A lot of escape pathing as well in this game. And if you don't have a pretty good spread of overseers and, not overseers, observers, mutas can really kind of come out of nowhere on this map. It's very hard to keep track. It's a very large map, very wide, especially on the northeast and southwest sides of the map. Yeah, no, everybody loving the party hats, man. Everybody loving the party hats. coLMoosegills once again going for the Hydralisk Den. Almost has it finished up. 24 lings in production. coLMoosegills, I'm pretty sure. coLMoosegills also a CSL player. I'm trying to think right now. I almost forgot. I think Wisconsin. I'm having like a lapse, man. It's really almost like a little bit of a curse. It's a curse and a blessing to be able to cast and broadcast so much StarCraft, but like between all of these North American events plus like CSL, like trying to keep track of players and where they're from, you just lose your mind a little bit. They're all over the place because you got to worry about team. You got to worry about team. You got to worry about school. You got to worry about region. All the moves that they're making. Now we do have some lings filtering on through here. Seeing if we could maybe force out some force fields. For the time being, no. The cannon is finished up. The wall with all these gates is about done as well. So in terms of playstyle, pretty similar to last game. A little bit quicker on the robotics bay from Saravati, so I'm going to try to get those Colossus out. Meanwhile, coLMoosegills dropping the 4th hatch right now. Infestation pit underway. I'm interested to see if does he go for pathogen glands and infestors right off the bat, or is he going to go into swarm hosts? Now, being a friend of Hendralisk and on the same team as Hendralisk, I want to say maybe swarm hosts. So if somebody could teach you how to play really good swarm host style, it's gonna be Hendralisk. It's gonna be Hendralisk. I have no doubt in my mind. But Infestation Pit is finished up. He goes for the Hive upgrade. Here comes some of those units filtering in from the other sides of the map. How many units in terms of defensive positioning are out there? Not too many. Time Warp does go down. Now we'll take a look right here. Here's the balance change. How long does it take? We're counting right now. How quick does that Time Warp disappear? Wow, that was pretty fast. That was pretty fast. I'm not gonna lie. Guardian shields are popped. Colossus is out. This force will get cleared out. Help with the photon overcharge as well. That was pretty quick. I would love to see that again, like in a little bit of a bigger engagement with a few more units, a little bit of a thicker build. But that was pretty good. You know, that was a lot quicker than I thought it would look like. I mean, at the same time, when it's going down from 30 seconds to 10 seconds, you shouldn't be. I don't know why I'm too surprised. My poor Terran tears. We're just like the time warp. It lasts like an hour. It lasts like an hour. It never goes away. Yeah, man, that was fast. All right. Plus 2 underway. Hydralisk speed as well getting added on. Vipers as well. And oh, with the Hive done, we do see the Vipers coming out. This should be a little bit fun to watch. Now, somebody that the last time I saw this type of playstyle actually came from Destiny back in the WCS North American qualifiers. He actually really liked to do the Ling Roach Hydra with Vipers and just take the chance and try to snag some of these units out. Now, the one thing I'm a little bit worried about for coLMoosegills right now, the army for Saravati is heading across the map, going to that northeast side to the 4th hatch. Is he going to have enough time to get the Vipers out, get enough energy on them, and actually be able to utilize them effectively at this point? If he could snap out the Colossus, this army becomes very naked right now for SaroVati, but with the Colossus it becomes a lot more dangerous. Forward pylon is spotted, army location is spotted as well right now, so we'll see how quick moosegills is going to be on the gun. He does have enough right now to snipe those Colossus and yank them on out. Also has a third, remember, don't forget, third and fourth Viper, so he could also get that mothership core as well if he wanted. Here we go. Grabs one of the Colossus. Does it get focused down? Indeed it does, but Blinkstalkers do come forward. Tries to snipe down another one of these Colossus. Tries to get the full surround right now. Blinding Cloud tossed right on top of that army, and SaroVati actually going to recall just in time. Check that out. Gets a lot of damage done there, trades off some of these units, and is able to get on out of there. That actually could have gone a lot worse. If he stuck around there any bit longer, he was already completely surrounded. Those force fields would have ended up gone, and we would have seen all of that army probably fall, or at least pretty close. But he's up to 3 Colossus now once again. We do see the Templar Archives charge upgrades underway. Dangerous Colossus count with this amount of Blinkstalkers. Gonna take the 4th Nexus over here to the left side of his main. Actually, one of the things I'm starting to see a lot more from players, they're actually a little bit more interested in breaking down these rocks and taking the 4th base over here. But here we go. Here comes the Zerg Force influx of units. Again, there's no time warp. There is no photon overcharge on these units. Tries to feedback them with the Templars, and he does land a couple of them. Colossus walks right into its death. One yank does happen, and that Colossus should get focused down. Indeed, it does. Blinding Cloud will force the rest of the army to fall back for the time being. Can he outmuscle this? At the time being, I want to say a little bit no, but their force fields are gone right now. All force fields are done. He's just going to focus down the 4th Nexus, force a cancel on it. I think that's even worth it on its own. I'm not sure if SaroVati canceled that. I am not sure. I didn't see the resources come back to him. I'm not sure if he canceled. Charge upgrade just about done. Colossus production does continue for SaroVati, retaking his 4th base right now. No War Prism out on the map, so not as much harass potential as he had last game. One's all tacking away at the rocks. a little bit comically, you know. It's one of those things, like, you get that really crappy job. It's like the internship job of the Protoss world. You know, you get accepted to Zeratul Tech, Zeratul Corporations. You get the opening job, you know, that internship. Yeah, well, what's my job today? Go hack at the rocks. Go hack at the rocks. Yeah, no. Like, we really need to break into that Zerg base. Here comes moosegills again with his forward army, yanking away that last Colossus that I saw, at least. And there are Templars here. I don't know if they have Storm yet. No, they don't have Storm yet. About halfway done on the upgrade. Trying to produce Colossus as quick as he possibly can. Really good yanks right there. Now, the Vipers do have to be a little bit careful, because if they get a little bit too close, they will get feedbacked. And this army still is pretty dangerous for the Protoss player, don't forget. So here comes the Templars going forward. Feedback's the 2nd one. The 3rd one, I think, still does have enough energy to yank. He did throw down a Blinding Cloud, I feel like, a little bit pre when he should have. Force field does drop. He's starting to slowly break on through, warping in right in front of him. The defender's advantage right now for SaroVati coming into play. Slowly clearing out this Roach Hydra Force. moosegills almost down to even supply with SaroVati right now, and SaroVati actually has to be pretty happy with himself for the time being, but to be able to be a little bit more happier, he does have to grab the 4th Nexus again, as moosegills is grabbing his 5th. If it stays 3 base to 4, that's fine, but if moosegill gets this 5th base up, SaroVati does have to have a 4th. Does have to have a 4th to contain. He needs to make sure he's got the 7th and 8th gas. He needs to make sure he's got a lot. Now check this out. While we were busy watching the engagement, over in the main base, the Greater Spire finished up. We were seeing some Broodlords in production. Where are those bad boys? There they are. Already we see a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope, 8 total Broodlords out on the map. And that's a good balance. That's a good balance. I don't know. Broodlords always scare me in Heart of the Swarm, but versus Protoss, I think they might have a little bit of a better place. As long as there's ground support for those Broodlords, there's always a place for them. But man, just with so many options for Protoss and just general every race to take them down, they sometimes do become a hindrance. Like we watched Phoenix versus Polt yesterday. Penguin versus Polt yesterday. Penguin decided to go for Broodlords versus Terran, and it looked okay for the time being. But then once the Vikings started coming out, the ground forces were a lot less in supply just due to having so many Broodlords, and he lost the ground supply, and then he lost the Broodlords, and you've never seen such a quick supply dip. Now here comes all of these forces, Lings all getting cleared out right at the front, and well, now these Blinkstalkers can just hop on top of them as the Colossus push on through. They're going to go for the Hydras, go for the Broodlings. One Broodlord goes down, another Broodlord goes down. We are starting to see some of these Stalkers lose a little bit in supply. Now the Corruptors are also working on the Colossus as well. There's a couple anti-air units in a sense. They will continue pressing on through. They have to be a little bit cautious how they walk up here. With 15 Roaches in production, I think that's really going to help him out right here, but he needs to make sure that those ground forces are there to help him out. Another Broodlord goes down, focuses down a fourth one, 2 left out on the map, loses another one. Can he get that last Broodlord right now? And indeed he will. Now he's just going to let the Photon overcharge and the rest of his units kind of go to work. Now he doesn't really have much left right now. SaroVati's starting to drop a little bit in supply, 85 to 179. The influx of Roaches and Hydras seeming a little bit too much right now for SaroVati to handle. He's not going to be able to defend his base for too much longer, and he calls a GG well played. He knows that, of course, already with the amount that he's lost plus losing the 4th base. That's going to be the game ender right there. So we're tied up 1.